Hey guys, it's Cool Pete back again. My Bovada tournaments are now going on break, but I usually kind of follow lock because that's my main side, so I thought I'd start this while my other tournaments go off a break. Although, we'll see. I think I can bet here because I can represent the ace. It's hard for him to call. Will not let me bet 200. Here we go. Having a lot of trouble with this Bovada so far. If you watched my first video, you noticed I kept sitting out on accident because I didn't realize I had missed one of my hands, or a lot of things like that. So again, oh man. I'm a little bit, my head's all cluttered, I can't think. Oh, I was, yeah, okay, I gotta clear my head out a little bit. Because I'm not thinking clearly or well. I was thinking that was the flop over here, and I don't know why I was thinking that. Wow. So my play hasn't improved quite yet, but we'll see. There's still time. So only this turn is going to, I don't know why this one's not going to break. I don't know, I don't get it anymore. I'm going to stop trying, I think. Any other tournaments? Turbo. Yeah, I like this. $30 turbo, 3K guaranteed. Turbos would probably fit me better today. Just thinking it'll be more simple decisions, which will be good for me when I'm not playing well and I've been out of the game for a long time, and the more complex stuff will be I won't do as well with those decisions as I would more in my peak performance. There's always time to turn it around though, you know? It's never too late in poker until you get knocked out of everything, so I'm gonna just limp here. I probably should be playing more standard when I'm not playing well. So maybe I shouldn't have done that. I keep second guessing myself. See, that's something I should probably stop doing. I should stop second guessing every play I make, you know? I should kind of have a reason for it and go with it instead of just constantly second guessing myself, which is not only unhealthy, but just, it'll make you play worse in the long run. I mean, here it's working out perfectly. So if it holds up, sweet. And then get busted twice with aces. It almost would have made me feel better to get busted right there, because it'd make me feel like variance is simply not on my side, and that's why I'm not doing well. Because that would have been the second time I got busted with aces. So, I mean, it wouldn't really change how the rest of the day has gone at all, but it could give me that argument to kind of feel better about myself, which sometimes you don't want to do if you're getting too big of an ego and you think you got everything figured out. You don't want to start feeling better about yourself. But if you're having trouble with your confidence, which is one of the bigger problems I have, then that's not what I wanted to show up. Then, you know, it's not too bad to do things to boost your confidence. So, I don't think I can call this at this point. I mean, only thing I beat is an absolute bluff. He's not betting a 10. I don't even think he bet a king. It's just, it's kind of a weird bluff to try to make, I feel like, because someone with a king might call. So. I still can't get over this. Everybody has a number thing based on when they registered for the tournament. They don't have screen names. It's just, I've never played like that before. If there's another site that does that, let me know about it. But I don't think there is. It's unique, and I kind of like it in the sense that it's unique. And if I was a European player who could play on 50 different websites, I would like it, because I like variety in the marketplace. I think it's really healthy, and I really think some websites should try to, probably when poker is regulated, but try to mess with the rake structure and do things to try to gain a competitive advantage that's different than everybody else, because frankly, in my mind, there's not a lot of difference between Lock Poker and Bodog and Poker Stars and Full Tilt. Those are different now, obviously. Full Tilt, I'm talking maybe a year ago, before Black Friday, but there wasn't a lot of difference other than volume and the tournaments they offered and promotions. And it was just like, there's a couple things I paid attention to, but you know, a new website trying to start up, if they didn't have the volume, they didn't have any good tournaments to play, they didn't have great promotions, because it's just like there's no reason to play there. But if you start fiddling around with stuff like rake structure and stuff like that, you could find a niche, which I think smaller sites should try to do. Now, it's a really weird marketplace because of all the weird Black Friday and, you know, where people can play, and it's a weird marketplace, so I understand that not happening now, but I feel like in the future, if it ever gets regulated, which it hopefully will pretty soon, I have no idea about if it will or not, but it'd be really nice. Yeah, it's a good flop. I'll check raise him probably if he bets. Trying to squeeze as much as I can out of him, and I think I might have. Or I might have missed an opportunity to make a couple bets. Yeah, he just hit a 9 on the river, so I guess I did squeeze as much as I could out of him. Oh, it's not what I want. Okay. Again, I've told you this all the time, but I'm minimizing these tables and making them big again, because for whatever weird reason, Poker Tracker just decides not to show up until I do that most of the time. And I don't know why. I can't even remember what I did pre-flop in this hand, and I don't know why. I feel like I can get him to call, even if he thinks he's splitting. But he didn't. back to what I was talking about a little bit with the kind of poker marketplace. I am someone who really likes a variety of sites and playing on different sites. I know a lot of people like to just, you know, they played on Stars forever and they just love playing on Stars and they didn't want to do anything else. Although I never particularly had success on Stars. I understand why people would do that. I only got 10 big blinds here, so I feel like I kind of got to shove. There's a long ways to go in this freaking tournament. That's not good. Because I don't think I'm ahead of much that's calling me. Ooh. Too bad. I don't think I can really complain about that though. 10 big blinds. Shoving from the hijack, I believe it was a hijack with ace jack. I think most people would say that's pretty standard. Again, I hate calling that standard because it frustrates me that the right play leaves you so little wiggle room, I guess, or the quote right play. I don't like that, but a lot kind of how the metagame works right now and how the math works, it supposedly is the right play. So I don't know, I still analyze that in my head a lot, things like that. But when it comes down to the math, I think it can be kind of hard to argue it sometimes. Because what am I going to do, raise fold there, you know, and leave myself? It's like, what are my other options, really? Calling, raise fold, min raising. It's just like, what? I don't have a ton of good options at that point, so that's why it kind of is like the best play. It kind of shows that playing short stack kind of handicaps you a little bit. But, you know. So I'm looking at what other tournaments to play, and I'm really trying to consider which ones, because I'm not playing that well, so I don't want to play a bunch of huge tournaments. I want to try to get my feet wet again with this and try to make some runs in some smaller buy-in tournaments. So I think I'm going to skip a couple of them that I actually really want to play, just because, not that I don't think I can be a winning player in them, but because I think it's just wise to kind of ease back into it a little bit more. I mean, I'm hoping to play most every Sunday nowadays. Maybe once during the week, and play some of those sit and go stuff. I do that mostly to make good content videos and to keep it pumping out and to have a lot of content coming out, because honestly that's probably the easiest way for me to make consistent content. I make more content doing this because I get hours of recording in a day, but when I do those heads up sit and goes, I feel like the timing is really good for people to watch. I feel like I can analyze a specific player pretty well, and I have stuff to talk about. I'm always having a hand. I feel like it works really well for these videos. If you guys don't like them, let me know. Let me know what kind of videos you want. The one thing that people have been talking to, well, there's two things people have wanted me to do, which I don't particularly want to do that badly. The first one is full ring sit and goes. A couple reasons I don't want to do those. One, I don't feel like I am much of an expert on those. I feel like if I did those, I would be very run-of-the-mill. I haven't been an expert at those at any point in my career. I mean, I haven't really been a heads-up expert either, but that's kind of why I'm doing it, because I have so much to talk about, and I can kind of, you can see my game progress, and I just feel like it works really well in terms of this format, and that's why I want to do them. And one of my friends is been really good at them. And I tried them for a little while in the past, and I had some success, but it just wasn't as quick of success, I guess, as multi-table tournaments. I wasn't making as much money. So I kind of dropped them. So I think I can do well with them. It's just... And they fit my schedule really well, actually, is one of the bigger reasons. Because I have a job now and other responsibilities. I don't have time to, you know, have a big Sunday grind 5 times a week, or obviously not Sunday grind, but I can't grind a bunch of multi-table tournaments 5 times a week, which I used to do, and was kind of what I planned on doing when I first started recording. Although I started recording the night before Black Friday, like literally about 8 or 9 hours before Black Friday was my first video. So my plans kind of shifted. I had a lot of plans for this, actually, and I almost scrapped it right off the bat, but I decided to stick with it, and I just kind of had it as a side thing. I got a part-time kind of weird job after a while, working with my dad, and so that also took up a lot of time, so I didn't have a lot of time to do that. I've kind of stayed somewhat committed to it, but never have fully jumped into this being my only thing to do in terms of playing poker and recording videos, because a lot of reasons, but partly because of Black Friday, partly because my life kind of got pulled in other directions in terms of making money and work. And, you know, now I moved, and I got a job in Kansas City, Missouri now, which is 1,500 miles away from where I'm from and have lived my whole life. So, but I still am committed to this, and the people who follow me, I really appreciate it, and I don't want to stop giving you guys content, and I still want to keep poker as something I do. This whole channel hasn't turned out exactly how I envisioned it because of that, and it's always unfortunately been kind of a background thing because of what's transpired since I started it. But I remember when I first started, I was destroying these 45-man sit-and-goes on full tilt, just absolutely killing them. I had played about 400 of them, I think, and my ROI was almost, I think it was over 100%. I think for a while it was almost at 200%, and I think that was kind of variance, and then it dropped down, but it only dropped down to like, I can't remember what it dropped down to, but I feel like I was like over 100% by the time it ended, and I was just surprised at how much I was destroying those tournaments. And that was really what gave me the idea. I was mainly playing $24 45-man sit-and-goes. I played some $24 90-man turbos, and I jump up to the $75 ones occasionally, which I actually feel like my variance in those was really bad, and it's frustrating because I didn't have time to kind of correct the variance with those. But and those were a lot more money at stake in those ones. And I was also playing a lot of other tournaments at the time, and I was playing a lot more before Black Friday. But I just felt the reason I started doing this channel was because I was like, I'm going to start recording these and throw them up on YouTube and see if anybody watches them, because there's no, I was getting into those, you know, professional sites that they have pros kind of talking about strategy and stuff, and it's kind of emulating those websites, but more for a mid-stakes grinder rather than a high-stakes grinder, because I felt like in the marketplace there wasn't anything for mid-stakes players, and everything didn't perfectly translate from high-stakes to lower stakes to mid-stakes and everything. So I felt like, hey, why don't I'm probably boring you guys to death, so I'll stop. I'll start talking about strategy again. I want to make these videos more entertaining than I have made them in the past, but I can't be cracking jokes for like 6 hours all day long playing poker. So if you guys can come up with any ideas for me to make these a little bit more entertaining, I would love to, because I want them to be entertaining, and I'm not that dull of a guy, so hopefully I come up with some ideas to make them a little bit more entertaining instead of just dull strategy. I want them to be fun to watch, so. And I try to always produce stuff that's good and quality. I'm definitely an amateur at what I do, but I want to provide value and not put out garbage. I have pride in what I do. Okay, back to strategy. Ace 9, I feel like it's good enough for a raise. Part of me saying, no, if you get re-raised, you're going to have to fold, but, you know, they don't know what I have, so I've been sitting around for plenty of time. And I don't know it's my turn over here, so I just... Sorry, Bovada's tilting me a teeny bit. It's not. I just feel like that could have just so easy for her to just nail him, and I'm sitting out of this tournament, and I don't think I can just give it quite that easily. I don't like that bet, but I hit the jack. So he kind of got maximum value out of me there, which was too bad. Too bad, and I might have played right into him. But I felt like that river bet really kind of stunk of having a hand he's trying to get value from a hand like mine. The one on the turn, it just felt like I can't, you know, that's the kind of bet he could throw out without having much and just trying to get a weak fold out of me. But I have not been playing well. And I should have called, I guess. Oh well. Okay. Let's start playing well instead of just slowly dumping chips in the 100K. Let's focus. Focus. Normally when I do these videos, and what was keeping me doing them for a while was that if I ever felt like I wasn't focusing well or playing well, I could just start recording and I would focus a lot better. But it doesn't seem to be helping today. I think it's making me get in my own mind a little bit more. I think I'm going to record all of today just to try to throw out a bunch of content for you guys. It won't be the most quality, and it'll probably be more than you guys can handle for a period of time. Maybe I'll even break it up when I actually release all the videos, I don't know. But I probably won't release them all at once if there's like 4 or 5 hours of video. But I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. I'm going to fold because all I have is a gut shot and 2 overs, and I don't think it's worth calling him or trying to do anything tricky. What I've noticed is I'm thinking so level 1 right now, which is one of the reasons I'm probably so confused. I'm so thinking about what I should be doing with my hand, and I'm not analyzing what the other players are doing with their hands. And I think that's one of the big reasons. I think one of the big reasons I'm doing that is because I'm rusty and I don't feel confident in my own plays. So I'm causing myself to kind of analyze my situation so much. But what it's doing is it's taking my attention away from what the other players are doing with their hands and trying to analyze what their hands are. And so I'm just constantly confused about where I'm at in the hand and stuff like that because I'm not analyzing them, I'm analyzing myself. And I think that's one of the big problems I'm having and why I feel so confused and so like I don't know where I'm at and I don't know what the right play is. And after I make the play, I'm like, was that really the right play? Because you can't know what the right play is if you're not analyzing where the other player is. There's no right play except in very... Oh, wow. Even when I feel like there's no way I can... Okay. Things are also just not going well for me, I don't think. But anyways... Your hands in poker are always relative, except in certain mathematical situations. And even then it's just relative to the situation and to the probabilities, which is mathematical again. Okay, I'm all over the map, but I only got 10 big ones, really. So... if I can start analyzing other players more, I think I'll feel a little bit less confused and a little bit more certain of what to do and feel like I'll be more confident in my plays, which is always good. So we'll see. This video will be very good to look at for myself. That's another reason why I record, is so I can go back and look at how I played, how I analyzed stuff in the past. It's actually probably something that wouldn't be bad for me to do now, to go look at some of my old videos and watch how I played and how I analyzed things. And I wish I had, I don't feel like I've ever had recorded some of my really refined thinking. I feel like I probably neglected to record a lot of that. Yeah, I think a bet here makes sense. Small bet. Now, unfortunately, no one can have the king because I have it. Well, that's good, and I think I have to kind of go all in. Because just calling almost looks... I mean, he's basically putting me all in, so there's no way he's going to fold. There's no reason to analyze it. Yeah, he can't fold. And he had a flush too, the two worst cards on me. So that was good. Simply a really fortunate situation. I didn't really outplay anybody. Which is what's so frustrating about today, is I feel like I haven't outplayed anybody all day, and I've only been outplayed by other people. Not being outplayed by other people, but made plays to make myself really vulnerable, I guess. So, and just mistakes, just flat out mistakes, and it's causing me to not play as well. Now I think my basic strategy for poker is still better, or at least good enough to at least keep me even in terms of of EV. Just my foundation of a poker game is good enough to have me break even with the amount of poor players out there, although it keeps getting harder. But even with that foundation, if I'm making as many mistakes as I've made today, or so far, at least as many as I think I've made, I'm not gonna do well in poker in the long run. I definitely have to outplay people more than I have, and to make some good plays instead of just getting fortunate enough times to win enough tournaments that I don't blow, you know, run my way. But I know I'm going to break out of it, and I'm going to start making some good plays because I am a winning and good poker player. I hope I'm not too far away from the mic and I sound all quiet. I am playing on a different monitor than I'm recording on, or I guess I'm playing on my laptop connected to a monitor. My laptop's a little bit far away from me, so hopefully it's not too quiet for you guys. I have to kind of jimmy a setup every time I play out here in Missouri because I use my computer for many different purposes and I don't have it set up. I don't have a a really good setup like I did back at home in Eugene. But so every time I play, I have to kind of construct something that will work with my work monitors and stuff like that. It's hard to explain, but yeah. It'd be a lot nicer if I just had a designated poker computer. And monitors. Which I have, they're just not with me. Yeah, I could have called that, but I don't think I should. This, I'm pretty much going with it. Now, one thing that gives me a little, I hate that so much. It's just like, I hate it. Sorry, I'm gonna have to let that ring, I think. Unfortunately, after it rings, I'll take that phone off so it won't ring again. Again, like I said before, I am an amateur. I try to give you guys quality content, but I am not a professional, so I am not giving you. I did not even look what happened, but I'm still alive, which is good. Okay, when it gets sixes. Okay. Okay, now my phone's off the hook. Yeah, I mean, I try to give you guys as quality of content as I can, but I only got so much to work with, I guess, and I only have so much effort to put for it, so. But I do care. Put it that way. And by the way, I'm excited for when I get 50 subscribers, which I believe I'm about 6 away from. I have a good idea for it, so I'm kind of excited for that. And now I'm playing with one of my best friends from Eugene, right here. Yeah. So, we'll see how that goes. Oh, jeez, it won't let me keep the phone off the hook. Oh, now it's just beeping at me. Nope. Oh, well, I'll just have to let it ring if it rings. Too bad. So I haven't really talked a lot of strategy this video, I guess. Hopefully you guys still like what I'm like watching this anyways, and I haven't bored you and turned you off of it. I'll try to talk more strategy. Hopefully there's still some value being created out of it. Okay, like right here. See, this is the kind of situation where I feel lost right now, and typically I wouldn't be. I feel like I'm just going to fold. One of the things I've learned, and whenever I forget to abide by, I always kick myself for it. Respect raises from early position. It's a raise from earlier position, and I should respect it. I always kick myself when I forget that, or I just don't go by it. So that's why I'm folding. It's just those raises from early position are just so much stronger than other raises. So that's why I was willing to fold that so easily, I guess. It's just his range, people's range is tightened so much in early position compared to middle or late position, I feel like. And it's something I've heard a lot from respected players, so you know, a lot of respected players are also talking about aggression, which I constantly talk about in my videos, how the pros or the experts always talk about you should do this and whatever. I'm talking about the really respected players in the community, how they're all about aggression and 3-betting and 4-betting and 5-betting, and I try to emulate my game more towards what they do, but I still feel like I've heard him talk about how early position raises, and just from personal experience as well, early position raises are, oh, I don't want to do that. God, this is not working very well for me. Early position raises are something that need to be respected, just because ranges are tight, usually. So playing with meddling hands like King Queen, I'm dominated so often that there's just no reason to mess with it. And I'm not going to get him to fold hands that are better than me, really. So, you know, why am I messing around there? If I'm calling and I try to hit King or Queen, I really don't know where I'm at anyway. To have position on him is really the only advantage I have. But, like, I don't know if he has ace-king or ace-queen. You know, those are very possible hands for him to have. He could have a pair, and I really don't know which one it is. He could even have an overpair, or, like, aces or kings or queens. So, and even if he has a jacks or tens or nines or eights or sevens or something, it's not like I'm in a great spot. I have position on him, but most flops are going to... He's still going to have the best hand. So the only thing that really gives me advantage is position, and problem is if I call, there's a lot of people behind me to also call or raise. If I raise, there's a lot of people behind me that I could get in a lot of trouble with, and then, you know, if he comes back over the top, he's probably got something really freaking good that I don't want to get involved with. And if he just calls me, he still probably has a better range than I do. I mean, what's he raise calling with in early position, you know, that I really beat? Like, king, is he going to do that with king jack? Is he going to do that with queen jack? You know, possibly some players will, but it's a lot better chances he has ace king than king jack. So it's like, I don't know what I'm trying to accomplish. And he's not going to fold a hand like ace king, but he will fold a hand like king jack. So raising there is very, just putting myself in a bad situation. So playing against somebody who I'm very good friends with, I don't play extraordinarily passively against them, but I don't really try to make any moves on him either. I just feel like, you know, I play a pretty standard game against him because just getting too tricky, I feel like, will make the dynamic between us really tough. And, you know, I rarely try to make moves on him, and I'm pretty sure he does the same with me. Not in a collusion sense, but more in a just, you know, we kind of understand each other's games to the point where it's not really in our own interest to try to get all fancy. And, you know, honestly, I don't really know how to exploit his game. I don't think he really knows how to exploit mine all that well. So... Oh, set. That's fun. Man, I'm just getting owned. Let's see how they win again. Oh, he hit it on the turn. My flop call was correct, I guess. Although, maybe it wasn't. Maybe I should have raised. Yeah, I mean, getting fancy against him, I don't even know what I would do to get fancy against him. I know his basic strategy, and I know how to combat that, but I don't know how to do anything other than that. So we just play pretty standard against each other, I guess. Man, things are not looking wonderful for me today. I haven't really had a good day of poker in a long, long time. It's another thing, when you don't have good results, it doesn't really make, it's me, other people are actually the opposite of this. But when I don't get results, it makes me want to stop playing. I know a lot of other people who are kind of the opposite, where they don't get good results, they want to get all their money back. And they want to make up for what they lost. And so they start playing more and higher stakes. I'm sitting out again. I'm sitting out over here. This Bovada thing is killing me. I don't even know how long I've been sitting out. So I gotta go with this. I'm real short in this tournament. Ace-king is a very good hand. I think that's just pretty obvious. Kind of hope it holds up. Hope I'm up against two underpairs. Well, that works too. Awesome. Triple up. Right back in this tournament. More than just back in it. I jumped from 53rd place to 24th, and now I have 8s. Now I got some chips to play with. And that was the situation I mean, it would have been better if it was like 7s versus 7s or 7s and 8s or something, but Ace-10 against Ace-10 and 7s is about what best I could hope for. Well, I guess I could hope for Ace-10 and Ace-Queen or something. Yeah, that would have been nice, actually. So, I was way off, actually. That would have been, or Ace-Queen versus an Ace-Queen, that would have been really nice. There's a lot of better things to hope for, actually. That's not a very good flop. I don't think that's one to really... I don't think that's one to get too crazy on. Well... I'm gonna call this bet. Sweet. I almost wanted to try to represent that ace, but I didn't. Not 100% sure why. I just felt like him having an ace would be a little strange there. I didn't really talk through and think through my thought process, which is again what I need to start doing. I need to start really thinking through my thought process as I'm making the decisions instead of just going, kind of doing it halfway in my head, because that's where I get into trouble a lot. And that's why I do these videos, because a lot of times it makes me talk it out more. Yeah, I just an underpair made a pair made a lot of sense to me there. I was really kind of trying to get him to do that, and I felt like an overpair to what I had. Oh jeez, yeah, it's just in the middle of a hand I started sitting out. Luckily I didn't really need to get involved in that hand. I don't know what needs to change for me to stop sitting out so much exactly. I guess we're close to the money in this tournament, which would be nice to actually cash in something. But anyways, like I was talking about, a pair made sense, but I didn't know if it was over or under. What I had under made more sense because there's more combinations of hands you could have under than over. But then I was also thinking, I didn't think he would be in there with threes because I didn't think he would have called pre-flop with threes. So, I mean, I guess that's something to mark about him. Okay, I gotta call my buddy. Unfortunately, I gotta call him. And I think he is gonna hit it on me. Yep. Oh well. Well, if I'm gonna lose to anybody, I guess I'm glad it's him. Okay. So where am I now? Still doing okay, but this guy I feel like has been owning me. It doesn't feel very good. Okay, maybe this was wrong. I should have shoved, but I was thinking people might try to shove on top of me to try to get me to try to think they can get me to fold. I'm gonna play like I have ace king. Or act like I have ace king. Now I'm leaving myself vulnerable by doing that, but I'm kind of willing to at this point. I just received a text from my friend. Okay. He's actually been on a pretty, maybe not in the last month, but in the last semi-recent period of time, he's been on a pretty big rush and been kind of owning. Is this where I need to go? I don't need to go all in yet, I don't think. I'm willing to if someone raises me, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I kind of got to, especially a shorter stack. I'm pretty sure I'm ahead of his range. I'm hoping he doesn't have a pair. Yeah, okay. Got most of my chips back. Sorry again about the phone. I don't think there's anything I can do about it right now, which is kind of too bad. Maybe I can turn the volume down or something. It's my office phone. I'm playing in my office. Yeah, I can turn the volume down. Okay. That works. I kind of hope this guy calls because I really want to shove on both of them. Yeah. Exactly. I feel like this is... Ooh, I almost said call. Okay, now I'm starting to feel like I'm getting into the flow of the game a little bit better. Not that this is a really advanced play, but it just... It's obviously right, and I easily thought of it, and I'm sitting out again. If any of you play on the new Bovada or the new Bodog or whatever, do any of you guys have trouble with sitting out and stuff like that? I mean, this is the first time I've played on it. It just switched January 1st or whatever, so it's only been playing. They've only had it for like 15 days. Have any of you guys play on it? Have you had any trouble? I know most of my subscribers play on the lock. if they play at all. Most of you guys play on lock, I know that. But if any of you guys play on Bodog or now Bovada, do you have any trouble with sitting out, and how do you deal with it? And because I mean, this is my first time back playing it, and it's just, I mean, I'm normally not great at making sure I don't sit out and stuff like that. It just happened to me occasionally, but this is just kind of too much. I think I gotta call this. My hand's just a little too strong to lay down. Oof. And I lose. But I still think that's the right call there. I mean, even seeing what he had, it's still, I think, pretty much the right call to make. Mathematically, I don't know. I think that's pretty dang close, though. I think it's basically like, I think it's just barely the right call to make mathematically, knowing what he had. Actually, there's a decent amount in the pot before that, so, well, I guess there's no antes yet. But yeah, I mean, there's 1,000 already in there. So I think it's actually, it's not like a huge EV to call instead of fold, but it is a plus EV to call instead of fold. But seeing what he had. Now, I could have easily been dominated, and I could have easily been dominating him, and I think I was actually ahead of his range by a little bit there. Well, maybe not, because so he'd be shoving so many like thin aces that are technically beating me, but he'd probably be shoving a few kind of thin kings too, so probably down to king 8 or king 9. So, and maybe a couple queens. So it's hard to say exactly, but am I in the money? It's nice to be in the money just for the sake of knowing I've made it pretty far in at least one of these tournaments. So maybe I'm not playing that bad after all. I mean, it feels like I am. I'm just kind of disappointed with myself overall. But maybe I'm not playing that bad, and maybe variance has a lot to do with it, but I just feel kind of disappointed with how I've played so far, and I gotta turn it around. I'm coming up to the end of this video, by the way. Sorry there hasn't been a ton of strategy in this one, and it's been kind of me just rambling. I don't think I can call this 14 big blinds. Part of me wants to, but I don't think it's the right. I don't think it's too yet. Oof. Not gonna do that yet either. And you know, I got a shot at this one, the 16th. You know, I got a definite shot at taking this one to the final table. So that'd be nice to get to a final table on a day where I don't feel like I'm playing well. We'll see. I got a long ways to go still. Okay, so this one's coming to an end. Here we go. Another break unlocked. Now these 3 tournaments I think are all going to keep going, but I think it's a good time to kind of stop the video and break for the next one. Yeah, an hour long is pretty long for these videos, I'm certain. So I'll definitely stop it here. Hope you guys enjoyed it so far. I'm going to keep going. Probably just going to kind of record till I'm done for the day, and then try to get a bunch of content out there for you guys, so we'll see. I might not post them all in consecutive days or at the same time, so you might have to wait a couple days for the next one. I'm not sure, just to kind of spread out the content a little bit. It'll be a lot to throw out. 3 or 4 or 5 hours of video all at once. So we'll see. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, there should be an annotation for part 3, and I'll see you guys there.